Monsters Misfits. What is
Hello.
going on, buddy?
What's going on, gang?
Been like a whole month since I've seen you. I'm having withdrawals.
Yeah, aren't there good withdrawals or bad?
Uh, I don't know. I feel like every time Doug texts me and he's like, "Hey, Vic's gonna be on the show." I'm like, cool, because it's fun talking to you because you're obviously passionate about your products and everything that you do. But I think you're even, and this is just my personal opinion, I think you're more passionate about discovering new things, just trying new things out and just kind of making things better or coming up with something new. I think you have a strong passion for that. And I think that's exciting.
Yeah, it's a very expensive passion and a time-consuming passion for sure.
I feel
Well,
that.
you once again have decided to do the giveaway tonight. We haven't announced it yet. So we're gonna do a hashtag Monsters Misfits, and you get a choice between 16 ounce of blood and 16 ounce of the ghost gel, or one or the other. Which those are pretty large bottles.
Yeah.
But we have never talked about your ghost gel yet.
Yeah, I was
So
just
I
about to
don't
ask, what is that?
so I don't know. I know what it is only because I saw your posts the last couple of days about it, and I thought it was really cool and really interesting. And I was actually going to text you and ask you about it, but I figured we'd save it for the show. So, what is Ghost Gel?
So, you know how everybody wants to, put shiny teeth or gums or around the eyes or eyeballs. They want all that stuff shiny in their props or just seal their props with. Well, that stuff is expensive. I mean, you buy a little 16-ounce bottle, it's $100 and some. So I'm thinking, okay, there's got to be a cheaper alternative, because I'm in the business to make money, but I just want to make living. I don't want to try to get rich off of other people because I mean, let's face it, everything's expensive. The latex expensive, the blood's expensive. Now, of course, you got to find a little line there with all the materials and stuff you got to buy to make everything. But I wanted to try to make something that was affordable for people to buy to seal their product or you make shiny pieces and parts on their mask or whatever it is they're doing. So that's where the ghost gel came in. So I dabbled in I don't know, probably couple dozen different products and mixing this and mixing that to try to come up with a nice little product for everybody to use. And I finally came up on it, and that's where Ghost Gel came in. So this actually a whole different product than our bloods. So these are actually two different products. So this is not the shiny stuff that we put in our blood. So it's two different products. So, but that's where the shiny stuff come in at. So I just wanted to make something affordable for people to buy and still make a great looking product.
That's
Do you have
cool.
any examples laying around?
Let me see. I think I do on this mask.
Does it work on latex or silicone? Does it have to be
It
a set one?
it does work on latex. So if you can see the horns,
Mhm.
let me see here. Let me find my camera. So if you can see the horns, that's all ghost gel. You can tell the difference in that and the mask itself. His eyes got ghost gel in it. I gotta find my camera here. It's all backwards. So that's all ghost gel. His lips, the stuff underneath the eyes. You can see it on there, but I do have a video of a mask I did that was like a brown. It was a flat brown. It's on. I think it's on my personal page. I've been posting a lot of stuff on my personal page lately, but it's on there. You can just look up my name, Vick Springston. It's on there, and I did a test for everybody to kind of see the difference in a flat than whenever you use the ghost gel, how shiny it is afterwards. So,
David kind of already answered the question, but I'm going to ask it anyways. Doug Schaefer wants to know. Doug Schaefer, our friend from VFX, wants to know: is it flexible?
so it is to a certain point, like everything else. Now, I've tried my competitors' stuff. I've studied their stuff on what theirs does compared to what mine does. So everything's got a breaking point, if that makes any kind of sense. So if you probably break it in half, if it's something real stiff and you break it in half, it'll probably crack. But once it's done, it'll come back and you'll never ever see it. If that makes any kind of sense.
Yep.
But if you put it on, just say like a like this rabbit I did, if you did a clear coat on that, you ain't gonna have no problems whatsoever. You're not gonna have no problems on your mask either. I mean, unless you just rip it apart, then you might have an issue with paint the and everything on that. So it's kind of one of those things that I've tested on a lot of things, and I came to the conclusion that it's a pretty good product, and I've used other people's products, so I compare my product to I think I've got about 6 other people's products. So I compare my stuff to each individual of what they do, what they don't do, and stuff like that. Mine's hands down. I ain't gonna brag about mine, but mine hands down is comparable to one of our top dogs out there that does permanent bloods.
So as far as I know that with like Mod Podge, because it don't stick on latex, but Mod Podge, I know how you have to mix it with water to get it more glossy. Do you have to do that with yours, or can we just
Oh no, straight from the bottle. Yep, it's straight from the bottle.
He's a one-stop shop. Don't you know that already?
Shop.
Even his blood, you just take it out and put it on.
Killing it.
You want to know a beautiful thing about my bloods? You don't even have to shake it. You can just open it up and take it right out of the bottle. You don't even have to shake it. You don't have to do nothing.
Yeah, I don't know about you though. I don't know about you, Tayan, but like shaking bottles are kind of half the fun. Like I don't know what it is about shaking bottles. I love doing that.
It's really difficult to shake something when a guy gives you a paint can that's been sitting in a refrigerator, basically, and it's separated and you don't know what to do, but you have to paint the wall. It's really struggle. So I kind of like the fact that I don't have to shake it to mix it. So I think that's a plus.
Yeah, this blood stuff I make is really thick. So to have to keep shaking it all the time would be a pain in the butt. But this here you don't have to. I make sure it's a nice, nice and mixed up before I even stick it in the jug. And
so I know somebody made a comment about me selling the stuff at my store. Is that anything that you do for people, like I guess wholesale wise?
I do sell wholesale. I've actually got one person right now that does wholesale, and if anybody else is interested in it, I can hook you up with that. I think it's a great idea, just to get my bloods out there into other people's hands and let them try. And I don't sell 4 ounces. I think it's 4 ounces. Yeah, I don't sell 4-ounce bottles because, in my opinion, I think that that's a teaser. I mean, that's like, why would you want to pay the money for 4 ounces, then pay the shipping for 4 ounces? Then you get it home and you're only going to paint on a little bit of stuff. I'm like, man, that would probably make me mad because I don't have enough blood. So I decided not to do the 4 ounces. So I went straight to the 8-ounce bottles. So that's the smallest I make is 8-ounce bottles, and it's a cheap product. I mean, it's cheap enough to buy, and shipping is fairly cheap on it. So, well, you know how shipping is with anything nowadays. Cheap as you're gonna get it, I guess.
So as far as contact info for buying, I guess wholesale or normal off of you, how does that work? And waiting.
If it's something you want to buy wholesale, just reach out to me personally on just reach out to Vick Springston. If you want to buy my stuff, you can go to monsterxmisfits.com and you'll find all the ghost gel, the bloods and stuff like that. Now we make collars too, and we also make custom collars. I just made some custom colors for cobwebs and candlesticks, and so he's going to try that on. I think he's going to put it on a pumpkin or something. I can't remember what he said he was going to put it on. But I make all kind of different stuff. So if it's something custom that you want, just reach out and say, "Hey, man, I'm looking for such and such collar or something like that." That might be off the beaten path. If you need a darker gray or a lighter gray or a darker green or stuff like that, I can just reach out to me and I can whip something up or send me a color that you want. Then I can already mix it from there. I know it's a little bit of a pain in the butt. Some people is kind of stuck on either brown, red, orange, green, and that's all they do. But I want to expand that a little bit where you have options if it's something special that you need for your own prop that probably nobody else has, then I want to try to accommodate you on that as much as possible.
Nice.
Now, I believe it was you. I'm gonna feel bad if it wasn't if I say this, but you've been kind of doctoring up some taxidermy lately, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. So I would show you my deer, but it's on a stick up there right now. I do have my fish,
Yeah,
but
the fish was very cool and very interesting.
yeah.
'Cause
Oh,
I
that's
wanted to
awesome.
bring up a really good point with this. Because you were talking about different textures and materials and stuff. I mean, this is a fish. Like this is a mounted fish that you turn into this. So obviously it's a short list that you can use your materials on.
I haven't found nothing out. So what I'm going to do is when I go to HiCon is I'm bringing everything that I put my bloods on, everything I make, and I use my blood only. So whenever you come in to my booth, you can see different things, what my blood's on. You can test it yourself. Just whatever you want to do. So it's like this one here. Um, I did this last night. This is my blood there. And what I've been trying to do is show you guys different ways to use blood because it's kind of an art, believe it or not. And there's some good people out there like Jay from oh shoot, you know who I mean, Jay. I'll think of it here in a minute because I'm a little brain dead. Anyway, they make good props and they know how to use the blood. So, I want to teach people from what I know or people tells me that how they've used it. There's different ways to use the blood. So I'll show you an example here. So this is a dead fish that I sculpted and put my bloods on. If you can see it, if I ain't covering it up there.
Oh, we can see it.
Okay. So I use my make black. So I got black on here and I got the blood. And I take, little tricks that people may not know is like using sawdust. If you got salt, I mean, most people's gonna have sawdust in their shop. Use a little bit of sawdust in the blood, mix it up, and throw it on your prop. It just gives it a whole different look. So I think that's pretty cool on that end. And the more stuff that you can learn to use your bloods in different ways, I think that's a win-win for everybody because if you just throw blood on something, it's just red. So you want to. I did a short thing the other day of showing you like different ways to do blood. So like this prop here is I stained this head first. So I stained this head first with a dark stain. Then I went over top of it with blood. And it kind of gives you that look whenever you put your blood on top of stain. Now this one here is in reverse, which you don't really think about it, but it does make a difference. So this is in reverse. So I stained this on top of the blood. So I
Have you
know it
thought
might be.
about teaching a class?
What's
That's
that?
what I was thinking.
Yeah, have you thought about teaching a class? I mean, just doing. I don't think I've ever heard of anybody just doing a blood class before. I mean, maybe somebody has. I don't know, but I don't think I've. I mean, you bring up a lot of good points. Like, there's different contrasts and there's different. When you think about anatomy and stuff like that. I know all the great makeup artists, right? Michael Green, Emily Bloom, Kyle Vest, all of them. They'll tell you the first thing they do is study an anatomy book. They got an anatomy book and they study anatomy books. This is what you're saying right now is extremely important information, and you're just like, well, you can do it. It's
You can
you
just
know, it,
do this.
So
yeah,
so I make different kinds of bloods. I make chunk blood. I make pumpkin guts. Um, I mean, I can make all kinds of stuff for you. But when it comes to down to the blood itself or the colors itself, I can show you how to. If you're looking for a certain way to make stuff, I can give you the option to do that. It's a little cheaper for you to buy if you wanted to buy like just say monster chunks. I can show you how to make the monster chunks, and it'll save you a few bucks because if you buy it for me, I'm going to have to charge you extra because of the extra material and the time put it into it. But I can tell you how to do that. I'm just want to say the blood and let you to be able to make your own ideas. If you got a bottle of blood, you'd be like, man, I'd really like to have some chunky blood. So now you got to go spend another, 30, $50 to buy some more blood from me that's chunky versus, hey, Vic, well, how can I make this chunky? So that's the thing I've been trying to do, is throwing a few things out there is kind of show you what you can do with the bloods. And I think it's missing in the hot industry is helping each other out. If I can save you a few bucks, even on my own product, I don't mind. If I can save you a few bucks on my own product, I want to do that because I understand the economy sucks. Everybody's fighting paycheck to paycheck, and we're all in this together. And all we want to do is to make a better product. And I'm finding it harder and harder and harder for people to share different stuff that they've learned with everybody, and that's getting tough out there. And I don't want to be that person. Now not going to tell you how I make my blood, but I'm going to tell you how to use it in different ways and make you a different texture, like the back of the leg. This is a whole different texture. I can show you how to do that, or I can tell you how to do
well,
that.
let's do that. You want to teach a class at Fear Expo?
Yeah.
Um, if I
We'll
got
pay
help,
you.
if I
We'll
got
pay you.
help,
I can get you help. I can get
yeah,
you
if I
whatever
got,
you need.
I mean, if I got help in my booth, I don't mind. I don't mind
We can
showing
handle
everybody how to
that.
do stuff.
We can 100% handle that. We could totally take care of you because like in all seriousness, like everything that you're saying right now is it's such
Vitally.
a yeah, it's such a very specific thing, but it's extremely important. Like the things that you're saying are done in every single haunt all across the country every day. And people, I mean, some people are doing it well, some people aren't. And you're clearly extremely knowledgeable on how to use blood, like the sawdust thing you're talking about, and
I'm
doing all
still
this stuff.
learning. I am
We all
still
are.
learning. Yeah.
We
So
all are.
I
But I
have
think people need to. I think people need to learn from you. Look at this. People are rooting for you. They want you to teach a class, man. Let's do it. If I can get your booth covered at Fear Expo, we could totally take care of that. Um, whatever's gonna happen, we'll figure it out. Uh, would you teach a class at Fear Expo?
sure.
Awesome, because I really want you to. I really, 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 really want you to. This
Yeah,
is super, super cool.
I'm not stingy at all with my knowledge of what I know, because I'm still new at all this. I've only got, I think, about 4 years under my belt of making props and different stuff like that. So I'm still new and I'm still learning. And I'm sure, there's a lot more people out there knowledgeable about using bloods than what I know. But I do learn. I try to learn from the best in the industry, or look at their pictures and study that picture. I don't know how long I stare at stinking pictures all day long. And I'm like, I know how to do that. I know how to do that. In my mind, I'm like, okay, what is it that they're using? So, it's just stuff you got to figure out. And then sometimes I'm wrong. Well, most of the time I'm wrong. Then I go through and like, okay, this is how they're doing it, or this it's close to that, and it's a pain in the butt because some people don't want to share that knowledge, and I get it. I get it completely. I'm not knocking that, but I think there's a lot more room in the hunt industry for sharing knowledge and different ways of doing stuff. So if you guys know a different way to use bloods, I don't care if it's even my product. If it's somebody else's product and you use it a certain way, just shoot me a message. Hey man, this is what I do. This gives it a great effect. I'm all ears because I want to learn. I'm 52 years old and I learn something every stinking day.
Well, you already got people trying to sign up for your class. So they're already saying they want to sign up. We don't have it up yet. Relax. Fear Expo. We're going to have them. I promise. We're going to figure this out. This is exciting.
Here's how I'll do the class. If I'll do the class if it's a free class. If it's anything paid, I don't want to do it.
Well, we're going to pay you.
No, I don't want nobody to pay me to do a free class. I think it's a good knowledge for people to know how to use bloods, because I think it's lacking in the industry. There is a few people out there that's freaking awesome about it, like Jay is like Evil Jay's, who I was talking about. The dude is phenomenal when it comes to blood work and stuff like that. He knows how to lay it down and put it on and stuff. He's tried my product, so I appreciate him trying that. And I love when people gives me good feedback, even if it's not 100% great feedback. That I don't want you to fluff me. I want you to tell me the truth about my product. Hey Vic, I don't like this product, or I like it, but it could be this, it could be that. Like cobwebs and candlesticks and uh, Monsters Alive. They use my products. I sell some to a couple big hunts or big prop makers from Transworld. I won't give out the name just in case. But I sell quite a bit of blood to some big names out there. But um, I had one guy reach out to me. Hey man, I want this just a little bit deeper. So we made it a little bit deeper. I have no problem with that if it's something specific, because I want to try to please everybody as much as possible. I know that I probably won't do everybody 100%. Of course, you know how the world is. But if it's something that I can accommodate you in, hey Vic, I want my blood just a little bit darker, or I want it a little bit lighter. I have no problem accommodating that. I think it's cool to do stuff like that and experiment with.
So, all right. So this is what we'll do. This is just me idea timing here. This is what we do. I can't make you take our money. So what I would like to see is let us sponsor your class. If you don't want to get paid, that's on you. We'll sponsor your class and we'll buy some of your products and we'll do like a create and carry class. So we can have your products there and we'll have some props and we'll sponsor the class and then people can actually get their hands on with your products, learn how to use them properly and things like that, and they can take it back with them. Do that. That sounds cool.
That sounds like an idea.
Yeah, we can work that out. I'm just spitballing. Maybe that'll work. I don't know, people. Don't hold my feet to the fire on that one. Maybe we'll do it. Maybe we won't. I don't know. But that's what I would like to see. I think having your product in people's hands and you telling them how to use it is going to be incredible for you. It's going to be incredible for the people in the class. I think it's just going to be a win-win all around. And if it takes us sponsoring it, then so be it. Then we'll do that.
Sounds like a plan. Yeah, I just, I think it's good info, and I think it should be shared to the world. And I don't think it should be a charge in, the knowledge of something like that. In my opinion, now I could be wrong, but in my opinion, I don't want to charge anybody anything for that because now I'm going to be money hungry, and I don't want to be that person. Like I said, I want to make a living in a business. I don't want to get rich. I'll probably never be rich. I just want to make a living. That's it.
Gotcha. I hear you. I hear you loud and clear. We'll talk about this. Maybe if you're or at HauntCon, we'll talk about this. We'll make something happen. This got me excited. We got I totally lost track because Doug asked a question. Doug Schaefer asked a question so long ago.
It was, oh my gosh, where did my screen go?
Well, Doug knows I'm going to give him something free anyway. I want Doug to try my stuff anyway. So
He asked.
Oh, he'll put it on everything.
Okay, I found it. He asked two questions. So the first question was, can I tint it with anything myself?
So you got to be careful. You're talking about the ghost gel or the blood?
The blood, I think. I don't know. I'm not sure.
So you got to be careful whenever you start tinting the blood with certain things. It could dull it. But hey, I got you covered. I can get you some ghost gel put over it. But it could dull your blood. So this stuff is pretty shiny. And I've gotten 2 years. What is it?
Either. So either the ghost gel or the blood, if he can tint either one. Sorry, I just put that.
You can tint the blood a little bit probably, but I would be careful of what you tint it with, because it can dull it. It could dull it down as far as making it a kind of a crappy half flat and half shiny. The ghost gel, you shouldn't have any problem tinting that with anything. Just try a little bit before you go into throwing a lot of stuff at it and putting it on a property. You're like, oh man, that sucks. So definitely you want to sample it first. The bloods, the bloods, I think you can tint it with oh shoot, I can't remember the name of it. It's some kind of a acrylic paint. Anyway, I'll reach out to Doug or Doug reach out to me, and I can tell him that what you can tint with the blood or with the ghost gel versus what you can't. I think it'd be much easier to do that.
The other question was, I use Smooth On, so strong tints on other bloods and clears. Will that tint yours too? That was the question.
Now, what was that again?
So I can read it again, but I'm confused too. I use Smooth On, so strong tints on other bloods and clears. Will that tint yours too? He might rewrite the question in a minute.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he means on that.
I'll pass on that one because he's got another one here.
He did ask another question. Is it thinnable with water or alcohol?
You can thin it to a certain point. You just got to be careful and find that fine line. I have thinned down the ghost gel a little bit, but you can't. I don't think I would want to go over 25% of any kind of water in any of the products.
Oh, okay. I figured out what they were asking. So Smooth On, they're so strong tints. Good Lord, that's a difficult word. Does it work with your stuff? I guess that was the question.
You mean like a liquid tint that you want to mix in with the bloods? I have no clue.
I guess it's the brand Smooth On.
I just see tomorrow Vick's going to Lowe's and getting every tint and stain and everything he could buy, and he's going to just be dumping it in his blood just to try to answer Doug's questions.
Yeah, I mean, I've done a lot of testing on stuff. I don't know about tinting it with
a urethane tint. if you can mix it with the ghost or the blood.
A urethane tent. I don't know. Sorry,
That's
Doug. I don't know.
experiment yourself.
So what I'll have to do is, because I know I'm sure I'm going to see Doug at HuntCon, is I'll give him some, and I'll give him some to experiment with, so he can play with it before he actually sticks it on anything. How's that sound?
I'm
Find
sure
out.
he's gonna love that. But we always
Fair
have to
enough.
remember, no matter what, hashtag Doug sucks. No matter what, hashtag Doug sucks.
Doug's pretty good, man. I'll talk to Doug about every time I see him. Every time we go to a show, I always talk to Doug in there somewhere.
Doug he's so much fun. He's so knowledgeable and just so he's got a crazy brain. Like like he's got a crazy brain and I love it. Like it's he's just so inventive and creative and I mean a lot of people are that go to these shows. I mean that's one of the beautiful things about going to these shows that we have is the tremendous amount of creative people like you and Doug and Michael Green and uh, Ken. We talked to Ken earlier today. Man, and I'm actually excited for people in the indie film industry to see your product as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope they stop by because, man, we had a big old controversy thing going on there for a while before. Because I was thinking, man, I says, man, this is an indie horror film show. This has nothing to do with Halloween and props. So I was pulling out, man. I was gearing up to go, and I was pulling out. I was like, I'm confused, man, because it's not geared towards Halloween and props. It's all movie stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just.
Oh, trust me, there's a lot of we haven't talked too much about it, but there still is a lot of Halloween stuff, a lot of horror haunted house stuff. You're gonna see a lot of people from Fear Expo there. Dan's gonna be there with Project Backfire. Michael Green's gonna be there.
Michael Burnett will probably
Michael
be there.
Burnett, that's a
It's in
huge
his backyard.
Kyle, Midnight Studios. Midnight Studios showing up anywhere is pretty incredible.
Yeah,
And the fact that
I definitely want Kyle to try my bloods. I mean, I talked to his dad at Pure Expo and stuff. I was trying to tell him to stick a ball in his pocket and take it back home with him and stuff. But I don't think we got that far. But I definitely would like to have Kyle try my bloods and see if he likes it or not.
it was so much fun having his dad out there. I hope he comes to this show too because he seemed like he was having a good time as well. And
that old man had me in stitches like the whole freaking time.
he's a pretty man. He's fast. He's quick. Like you gotta. He's a quick one to keep up with. He's such a fun guy. But yeah, there's gonna be a lot of familiar faces down there from Fear Expo. The idea is just kind of merging similar minds together, and I personally believe that there's a lot that the haunt industry can learn from the indie horror film industry, and I think there's a lot to learn from us to the indie horror film industry. And I think there's gonna be a lot of cool collaborations. And you're one of the products on my list that I want to kind of get in front of these indie film people. I mean, it just makes sense if they're gonna be building props and things like that, and they're still using cornstarch and spirit Halloween blood. Like, hey, there's better options out here, and you're definitely one.
I do make a stage blood.
See, perfect. That's what I'm saying. Bring it all, because these people are gonna want to see it, and it's and you know how these shows goes. It's gonna spark a lot of creativity from a lot of people, and 6 months down the road from now, one of these indie horror people are gonna be like, man, only if we knew a blood guy, and somebody's gonna pull your card out of their pocket, and I'm like, I actually know a blood guy, and it's that's how
Yeah.
these things work, and I'm super excited about it.
Yeah, I am
Vic,
too. I like to see how it goes and stuff like that. I know it's your all's first year down there, so it's kind of one of them things you don't know what to expect, and taking it from a small guy like me in the industry is your take. I know everything's a freaking gamble anymore, and you got so much money invested. And it's not just in making the stuff, the time and everything here, but now you
Yep.
got to buy the fuel to go there. And now I'm going to have to buy another trailer because somebody crashed into mine. And then the hotels and the food and everything, like you got a chunk of money invested. So it is a very risky business sometimes.
Yeah, and we don't even really know what to expect, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Doug and I were talking last night. Like, we don't know. We feel like we're a little bit better off than we were a few years ago. We have a couple of Fear Expo shows under our belt. We've learned a lot. We're like you. We're constantly learning things. But yeah, we're taking on new projects. We have another project in the works that we'll talk about. I don't know, eventually. Um, there's just there's a lot of things, a lot of moving parts that we got going on, and yeah, I mean we're taking a risk. Doug's got a vision. I don't agree with him 75% of the time, but he always seems to make it work, and then I always look wrong, which I'm fine with that. I'm fine looking wrong. Um, but yeah, it's a risk, it's a gamble, and at the end of the day, if we all have a good time, everybody makes a little bit of money, everybody learns something. I think it's all worth it, and I think this venue and this show is going to provide that. We all have a good time at Hong Kong, and now that we're going to bring in film industry and stuff, we get to meet new people and with similar minds and stuff, and I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Vic,
I've helped with 2 movies and a music video.
nice. Vic, the website is up and it's running.
I know, ain't that great?
Yes. So where can we find you and Monster Misfits all out on the interwebs?
Man, if you can find me on Facebook. If you want to go look at what I sell on the website, just go to monsterxmisfits.com. And if there's something on there that you're interested in or you have questions about, just shoot me a message. I have no problem in answering anything. To my knowledge, if I know it, because I'm still kind of, the best way to test and try this blood out is get it in everybody else's hands and they can say, hey, this is a decent product, or man, this kind of sucks, or whatever it is, or they can give you tips and tricks. And that's how I learn, because I don't want to just stop here. If it's something I can to increase the betterness of my props or my bloods, that's what I want to do. I don't want to ever stop.
And that's why we love you, man. Seriously, we'll get together at HauntCon with Doug and Chris, and we'll talk about getting you a class at Fear Expo because I think it's important. I mean, seriously, I really do think it's important. This is something that everybody can benefit from, and I look forward to things like that.
I do too, because if you put blood just on the surface, it just and like this bowling pin is it's just blood. I mean, it just looks like red running down there. It doesn't look bad. I mean, it's nice and shiny too. It's a pretty blood. But if you add something to it, like a contrast and stuff, I mean, it makes it even stick out even more, like the back of this zombie head.
Right.
It just
Not a lot of
makes it.
people know how to do that. They just, they hastily make things to throw in a corner. I always think it's funny too, because like I was just thinking about this. If anybody's just like scrolling on Facebook randomly and they find this live feed, they just see you in your coat and your hat holding up a bloody bowling pin, going, "Well, it's pretty blood." It's, I always
Yeah.
think when people think they just randomly come across this. Well,
Yeah.
Vic, we won't keep you any longer. It's getting late. We're gonna give away some blood here in a second. As always, thank you for being on the show. Thank you for being a part of the Fear Expo family. Thank you, the whole bit. I cannot wait to see you at HauntCon. You're always fun. You, David, Jen, you guys are always a good time to hang out with.
Yes, if you guys win, please reach out to me, and I'll send it out to you.
So there you
Whoever,
have it.
whoever
So
you all pick.
we'll give you like, oh, I guess we're gonna run it. We're running it. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Hey, perfect. That is that is perfect. Awesome. Well, Doug, you know what to do. You're getting 16 ounces of your choice, whether if it be the blood or the ghost gel. You're
I'm
getting it.
changing my mind with Doug. I'm gonna send him like a half an ounce of it. I ain't gonna send him a bunch.
That worked out perfectly.
I tell you what, though, I wouldn't be surprised the way Doug works and the way his brain works. I wouldn't be surprised if he takes your blood and then comes up with like a whole new line of products for VFX and shows it at HauntCon. I would not be surprised at that.
Oh, I hope so, man. I'll send the Doug, send me a message and then give me your address and stuff, man. I'll send you out some stuff and definitely experiment with it. Let me know what you think, and hope it would become a business partner sometime down the line.
I think he wants Ghost Joe. I think that's what he said. Doug, you know the drill. Reach out to him. Vic, always a pleasure, man, and we will see you at HauntCon, my friend.
All right, thanks, guys.
You giggling